You're listening to the Wizard WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. We are here tonight with very special guest, Mihali from Twiddle, and an even special guest just because we didn't know he was going to be here. We have Grahame Lesh also. So nice surprise. Thanks for bringing him along. And I was going to ask you guys some questions and then let you guys play some music. Is that okay?
That's great.
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Again, thanks so much for being here. So you guys are playing tonight at City Winery.
Indeed.
Mihali is on his solo tour. And so let's just tell everyone that if they want to go to the show, it's at 11 p.m. tonight. It's at 1200 West Randolph Street, which is City Winery. And both of them will be playing. You guys are going to be playing together just like this?
Yep.
Or yeah, cool.
Yes.
And so I guess the first thing that I really want to ask you guys is how did you guys kind of become so close? I know that you did a little tour together in the spring. Did it blossom
Little
from
tour.
that?
That's
Yeah.
this is a long
It
tour.
was a pretty good tour.
Yeah.
Midnight North played with us at Brooklyn Bowl, and I'm not sure how it happened, but someone reached out to both of us and said, hey, would you want to do like an acoustic tweener set in between Midnight North and Twiddle at Brooklyn Bowl? And we both were into it. We had never met, but we sort of threw some ideas around.
Yeah, we ended up doing a trio with Elliot, the other singer from Midnight North, and the three of us sort of worked up a couple tunes.
It was one of ours, one of yours, and a Dead tune.
Yeah, and that was it. It turned out really well. It was a blast. And then this past spring, we went on tour for a month,
Yeah,
something like that. We were following Twiddle around in our little van, following your bus around through the Midwest and the South. Yeah, you too. And we got a lot more of sitting in and jamming
we
going.
played a lot together.
A lot of singing. So
yeah.
Well, I actually caught quite a few of those shows.
Cool.
So it was a
Thank
good
you.
time. And so Grahame isn't the only Lesh that you've become close with. You've also been playing some music with his dad, Phil Lesh of Grateful Dead fame. Mihali, what has that been like for you?
It's been great. I owe it all to this man. Ooh, as I smack his guitar. Grahame really has been great at introducing me to that whole kind of California thing. And it's a dream come true. It's an honor, and everyone out there is just super cool, super nice, and it's a great vibe.
And at this point, you've been on stage with both Bob Weir and Phil Lesh at the same time. Is that like your wildest dream coming true?
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, for sure. It was, the young man inside of me was incredibly stoked. I had to sort of swallow my emotions and just be cool. But, like I said, Grahame was right there inviting me and making me feel welcome from the beginning, which is half the battle when you're doing that kind of stuff. So
Cool. Well, thanks so much. Also, so you guys were supposed to play, Twiddle was supposed to play with Phil Lesh, and I remember the show got canceled. I believe he had some travel problems, but then he ended up at your festival, Tumble Down.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I take it that's thanks to Grahame.
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Midnight North couldn't. It was how did it work? Twiddle was in San Francisco, and so we invited. I think it was going to be Savoulidis first,
Yeah.
and then turned into a full-blown Twiddle show. At Terrapin Crossroads that my folks own in San Rafael, which is right by San Francisco, and it's sort of surprise show announced the night before.
Yeah.
And yeah, my dad was supposed to be there, but his flight got canceled and he was on vacation and couldn't make it. So it was a great show. Twiddle had a great time and rocked it at Terrapin too.
You ripped a mean subconscious with us.
Yes, that was fun, and we did Eyes of the World again then too.
Yep.
But it was. I knew that my dad would have a really good time jamming with Twiddle, and so I sort of planned some surprises for
sure.
for Tumble Down. Midnight North was going to play that too, and so I invited my folks out to hang and didn't tell anyone until like a few days before. And
yeah, we were
my dad
backstage
came out and
Irving Plaza, I think it was. We were backstage at Irving Plaza, and one of our crew members said, "Hey man, I got Grahame on the phone. He wants to tell you something." And he told us that his dad was going to come play at Tumble Down and hang out. It was lots of rejoicing and happiness.
Yeah, and it ended up being a
vibes.
blast. My dad had a really good time, and that sort of set up all the stuff we've done since with my dad and Bob. And mostly in California, but
And Midnight North.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been the sort of the central focus of all of it, you know.
Yeah, that's so great. Tumbledown has been a big. This was the second one, correct?
Yep.
And the first one you had Paige McConnell sitting with you.
We did.
Second one, Phil. So this is like your festival that takes place in Vermont. Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure for
No
next
pressure.
year, right?
Right? That's what I was gonna say. Like, are we bringing Jerry back from the dead?
No.
You know what's going on next year?
I
But
don't know. Holograms.
So how did Tumbledown come about? Was that just something that?
You know, we had done it. It was actually the Maritime Festival on the waterfront in Burlington, and we had done it maybe the year before, something with Mo. We sort of split between doing the waterfront and higher ground, and each night one of us played the waterfront, one of us played higher ground, and we sort of flip-flopped. And even earlier than that, years ago, I think we had done it once before. And, you know, the Mo thing was super successful, and we sort of just merged with the Maritime Festival, and they were gracious enough to sort of let us take it over and kind of expand our vision of what we wanted to do from there.
And I guess I should mention that Mihali's here all the way from Vermont.
Indeed.
So this festival takes place in Vermont every summer. And Grahame, you're joining us from California.
Yes.
I take it. Cool. So yeah, we're all meeting here in the middle. Pretty cool. And so some questions about Twiddle. I feel like you guys have, you know, come really far over the past couple of years. How did you guys get your start?
Well, we met at Castleton State College, and Brooke was still in high school. And it was just me and Ryan at first. We were playing a lot and writing a lot of music, and we just really needed drum and bass. And so I was doing a theatrical production of Hair. And the bass player, Billy, was in high school still, one of Brooke's friends, and he was a really gnarly bass player. So he introduced us to Brooke, and we started playing, and then it was house parties and frat parties, and then local bars and more local bars, and then out of the state we started going, and it's been going ever since.
Now, I mean, I kind of consider you the front man, but you also have a four-piece dynamic going on where you all kind of contribute. Was this your kind of band, or you just kind of came together?
I like to say I've been thinking and
manifesting,
constructing Twiddle since I was like 14.
Okay.
So I mean, I went to college with an idea to start a band, no inclinations of doing work or actually like being part of the curriculum.
It's really funny you bring that up because I actually wrote that down. I heard that you went to college to find people to play music with.
That's what I did. Yeah. I mean,
Everyone subconsciously does that. So.
Yeah. It was cool. I mean, back then, it's so weird how everything sort of changed. Like, even in the town, like Castleton is such a different school now than it was when we first got there. But yeah, Ryan is a trip. He's like
amazing piano
a musical genius in his own way. Like he doesn't play music or think about music like anybody else I've ever met, and mainly it's because I've talked about this a lot, but you know, his upbringing, not being exposed to too much music, really focusing on his parents really liked him listen to classical music and Christian rock and all that stuff. Sometimes he still puts it on in the van. It's really funny. And you know, and then it was just like his own musical choices, which eventually led him to like a Bella Fleck and like some other people that like expanded his want to play more. Not like Blink-182. He wanted to like get into it a little bit. But when I met him, he like, you know, he just he played what he like heard. It wasn't like he didn't know who Bob Marley was or Jimi Hendrix or any of that. So it was like I had to drop a bomb of musical knowledge on him in a year. You know, but he's a sponge, and you know, he started taking the jazz classes and he learned really quick, and he exceeded all my expectations.
He's phenomenal. He really is. He has such a distinct sound for a keyboard player.
He's a character.
Yeah, he's great. And I asked you last time, and you answered me last time we interviewed. And I still, to this day, I've been like, I don't really understand the answer.
Well,
How did the name Twiddle come about?
Dictionary.
Yeah, you said that.
Me and Ryan were sitting. Okay, so our first name we looked at was Jounce. And then we found out it was like a German pop punk band or something like that, so we bailed. And then we were just in the dictionary looking at words and like reading the synonyms and like trying to, I don't know. So we saw Twiddle, and the words that like went with it were like twiddle, hitch, jiggle, joggle, jump, squirm. I know these words because I put it in song lyric. Squirm, toss, dabble, doodle, all like funny, silly words. I went to Berkfest years ago and I saw this band called Jiggle the Handle, but everyone was just calling them Jiggle, and it was like their last show or something, and I was like, Jiggle. I was like, I like that. So I think that I think that went into Twiddle. It's a silly name. I don't like nowadays. I don't know if I would have gone back and kept it. In the early days, everybody thought we were like a bluegrass band. I think they associated Twiddle with fiddle, and they just assumed that's like what kind of music we were playing. But I'll take it.
Actually, I was in an airport years ago. I think I was coming home from Fish Tour, and there was Mo fans, and they were like, "You got to check out Twiddle," and I totally thought bluegrass.
Yeah, no,
totally.
it's
This
cool,
is
though.
years ago, so many years ago.
Thanks, Mo fans.
So yeah, just random meeting in the airport too. Anyway, that was the first time I ever heard of you, by the way. So,
more sense now?
yes. Oh, yes,
Sorry,
it does.
I didn't clarify.
No, I mean, you were actually in a music store when we had that interview. So I think that we were both kind of. I was really.
Oh, I was
I was pretty
Chicago
unprepared.
Music Exchange, so I was like,
You were in a music store. It was an awkward interview. I'm glad you came back actually, because it was a really awkward interview for me.
I didn't feel it was that awkward. I mean, I
probably
was
wasn't.
walking around a music store.
You're a
Was it?
performer,
It was
you know
awkward
this.
for you. I'm sorry,
No, not. It wasn't your fault. I was also
Miss Wizard. I apologize.
Miss Wizard. Maybe you interviewed with a different wizard last time.
Perhaps.
No, it was me. But anyway, so let's see, what else do I got for you guys? Well, I still got Mihali questions. How did the solo
I can
tours...
answer those. No.
He knows most.
You probably can. How did the solo tours become a thing for you?
Oh man, I've been doing this solo acts as long as I've been doing Twiddle. Instead of working like everybody else wanted to do, I refused. So I figured out a way to make my money playing music. So pretty much every night of the week from 2006 on, as much as I could anyway, I was doing this act with the loop pedal and everything. It was how I paid bills and ate. But I did it locally. I played all around where I lived, in every bar you could think of in most of the towns in Vermont and all the ski areas and all that stuff. And it was only recently that the last year or so, that I felt like I wanted to sort of step it up and take it out on the road. And for me, this act is less about the crazy guitar solos and how long a version of a song is. And, it's just more about the songs, like just playing the songs and singing them and having everybody else sing along with me, and that kind of a vibe, which is something I really love. So it's a kind of a different outlet for me.
Great response. And do you have songs written specifically for this solo tour, or specifically for solo Mihali in general?
Yeah, there's probably 10 songs that I don't play with Twiddle, and there's a lot more that I've sort of kept off the out of the Twiddle repertoire just for sort of this act. Some things I write I feel are appropriate and really good for Twiddle, and some things I think maybe are more suited for the solo thing.
I think that's true for a lot of bands, and sometimes they go off and experiment and bring it to the band, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's interesting. And now you had released some of these new songs you've been doing for this tour on Facebook. Is that correct?
I did.
Recently?
I spilled the beans.
And I think they're actually on YouTube.
So I'm sure some of them have made it to YouTube.
If anyone's interested in looking that up, YouTube, Mihali, maybe like new songs or something. And there should be some acoustic stuff from him. I believe there's like a red wall background. So find that video.
Oh, cool.
Is there potential for a solo album release?
Yeah, I'm just doing the record hopefully in January, and I don't really know when it will be released. Sometimes these things take forever, but yeah, it's happening. It's moving forward. Hopefully Grahame will be involved. Whoa. Blowing your spot up on the air, dude.
Maybe you should just join the band.
We would, we'd be very lucky. Unfortunately, Graham's got too many things going on.
Yeah. Anytime they ask, though, I'm here.
And California's really far from Vermont.
I love California. Heck, man, if I didn't have my roots set down in Vermont right now, that would 100% be somewhere I would consider relocating.
Interesting.
Especially your neck of the woods.
We have a cool scene.
It's a special place.
Cool scene
for
in
sure.
the Bay Area, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And the weather there is so great, too. You have an upcoming tour with Stick Figure. You'll be back in Chicago on January 19th at the Riviera Theater, which we call the Riv.
I
here
was
in
just
Chicago.
there.
Oh, yes, I saw you there. Actually, unfortunately, I was only able to catch the second set of the first night, but I was there, and It was super fun.
How was it?
It was awesome.
It was great.
Love the Riv.
The Ohio Encore.
Yeah.
I went home. I was like, I need to listen to some CSNY.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a really good time.
That was a
and
blast.
I'm sure jamming with Carl D was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had Carl D out?
Yeah. He was on the Chicago shows.
Yeah, why don't
for
you go over
run.
that lineup? Because that was a really cool lineup.
Well, it was the other band I'm in, Phil Lesh and the Terrapin Family Band, which normally is myself, Ross James, Alex Koford, and Jason Crosby. Jason Crosby was unfortunately only there for the second set of the second night, which you didn't make, because he's on the Jimmy Herring, John McLaughlin
That's where I
Meeting
was.
of the Spirit.
Fantastical,
Yeah.
amazing tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jason was unfortunately busy, but we had Eric Krasno and Carl Denson on those Chicago shows. Pretty good fill-in for
I'd
for
say
Crosby.
that's pretty great.
Yeah, those guys are monsters.
Actually, Krasno slipped my mind, but he was there.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan
Krasno's
of his.
kind of I was telling Mihali, sort of our unofficial sixth member of the family band, and
Cool.
yeah, he's awesome.
He is really good. I've been a fan of his for years.
I've been
and
listening to him
years.
since I was like 14.
Right? Same. We're probably
Yeah,
close to the
same.
same age, Mihali. I think I'm a couple years older than you, perhaps. But yeah, same. Since I was like 16. All right, so I'm about to wrap it up, but I guess something I just wanted to ask about Plum Chapters 1 and 2. So there's some newer songs that you weren't playing before that you started playing. Which of these are like some of your favorites, or which have like changed or evolved the most in the live setting?
I like playing Orlando's just because like the end's like a sing-along and everybody in the band gets to sing, and we've extended all of them. Nicodemus Portale is another tune, and we kind of take that one out a little bit now. They're all fun because they're all new. Okay. So it's like when you get a chance to play new stuff, it just breathes like a new life into the whole thing.
It's rare. We've never done the thing where we waited to play songs until they were released.
It was so difficult, man. Like
Yeah.
to have all these songs sitting on, but
I
you have
can't
to wait
even
until the
imagine.
album is done.
Yeah.
But it's so
We're usually
fulfilling,
sick of them, and by the time they were actually
it's so
released.
cool to play them live. People have just heard the album version, and when you play them live for the first time for everyone, it's like such a new thing. It's great, you know. It's difficult, but I think we're gonna try and keep doing that because it just makes the albums much more special.
Yep.
You know.
That was a really interesting perspective to hear, that you had to like control yourself
Oh, it's so difficult.
from play. Like you don't even think about that as a fan. Like, you know, they have these new songs and you're like waiting for them to come out, but you don't even think about what it's like for the band, like not being able to play them. So yeah, really interesting perspective. I guess one more question. Someone told me to ask you. You've had some friends on this tour. I guess the guy who taught you everything, and Gubby Bean. So has that been cool? What's been going on with all that?
Yeah. I was lucky enough to mainly choose a lot of the support I had for this run, which is like a lot of my friends. The first night was Sam Johnson, who's our front of house guy, but not a lot of people know he's a great guitar player and singer. So he opened, and then Grubby Bean's been, you know, a mentor and a good friend of mine for so many years, and I usually always have him do one or two shows with me when I'm going out solo. And Steve Girardi, my guitar teacher, who's you know, the guy responsible for sort of the way I play guitar. Anytime I'm near New Jersey, New York, or Philly, he'll come out and play, and it's always a treat to have him come. You know, he sort of shred his electric.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I got. I'm sure you guys are excited to get playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. Mihali from Twiddle and Grahame Lesh from Lots of Things.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. You wait to greet the brand new day. Look up, realize you're late. The shouts make you plain. Can't find your keys again. The rent's been due for weeks. You need this gig to eat. The car starts to leak. The engine's really weak. It won't start up in time. Try to find a ride. The bills weren't paid on time. The cell phone's lost a line. The problems won't go away. They keep piling on your plate. You just want to escape. You need to reawake now. Listen to the words I'm saying in this line, that your life will be just fine, and troubles do not stay, they get replaced with good times. Now you got a great life. Smile as you walk by, thinking about the day. It's late, your legs won't rest today. Your body seems to ache, your mind will win the race. Burning mind, go sleep again. Night blooms from the sun, a long dark night undone. Another day of fun, waiting for some luck to come. You keep hoping for a day when things will go your way, and all decisions have been made. Karma's finally found its way. The drinks they pass the time, they help me to unwind. The guilt is killing me inside your eyes, they need to reawake. Now listen to the words I'm saying in this line, that your life will be just fine, and troubles do not stay, they get replaced with good times. Now you got a great life. Smile as you walk by, thinking about the day. It's gray, the rain pours down my face, tears become rays, cleansing of my face, flashing down into my grin. My eyes become alive, feeling left behind, a hidden world outside, creating all you see today. Clouds they went away, forever did I wait. Karma finally found my plate, and now I'm smiling in the sun. We'll meet again someday. Smile then I'll say, when it rains it pours all day, and love can find its way. Now listen to the words I'm saying in this line, that your life will be just fine, and troubles do not stay, they get replaced with good times. Now you got a great life. Smile as you walk by, thinking about the day. Listen to the words I'm saying in this line, that your life will be just fine, and troubles do not stay, they get replaced with good times. Now you got a great life. Smile as you walk by, thinking about the day. Yeah. I'm lost and I can't seem to find my way home. I've been burning up time, burning out my mind on an endless winding road. All my burdens keep me hurting, never present, never certain, all alone, they keep beating at my soul. It's hard to see the future when the present doesn't suit you. Every day feels like a blinding cold, blinding cold. There's a hole in my energy, it's burning out my sanity, eroding the thrill of getting old. I don't fit in with society, it's blinding my integrity while undermining my goals. It's blurring my intensity and muting my ability to avoid the bumps in the road. I can't execute the skills I need, relax and keep my dreaming free while stumbling out in the cold, out in the cold. Whoa, whoa. 'Cause I've been struggling for way too long, and it's time for a change. I'm ready to move on, and yes, I'm scared to right all my wrongs, but I'll be okay. Yeah, I'm stronger than I thought. They're getting bold with technology, it's eating up our decency, so why do I feel so alone? I'm disconnected from my family, my friends don't want to talk to me, it's getting out of control. I turned from my destiny and filled it with an evil shit that soon began to take hold. The truth was right in front of me while all along I held the key to let me in from the cold, from the cold. Whoa, whoa. 'Cause I've been struggling for way too long, and stronger than I thought. And I'm not gonna waste 1 minute of this life. I got a second chance to do what is right. I'm gonna dance in the rain and lay out in the sunshine. Take all my pain and turn it into moonlight. Take all my pain and melt it with the sunshine. Take all my pain and turn it into white light. Take all my pain and give myself a good life.
All right, we're in the studio at WZRD Chicago 8.3 FM with Mihali from Twiddle, Grahame Lesh from lots of things. I keep saying that. Midnight North. What do they call it? The Terrapin Family
Terrapin
Band?
Family Band.
Terrapin Family Band with his dad, Phil Lesh. You guys got time for one or two more? It's up to you. Sky's the limit. One more?
Yeah. We could, yeah. Want to do Under the Lights, your favorite?
Yeah,
Just rip and D.
Yeah.
All right, we got a Graham tune coming
Yeah,
up.
this is a Midnight North song. This is Under the Lights. I can't keep from watching this rain. Like a slow car crash, we all rubbing. They tell you that it's all on you. You know that's what they always had to do. This town just feels just a little too small. Just a couple of bars in that strip mall. But they always stay quiet that hard. Had you never gotten quite that far? And it all starts in your own wire, and all the noise just takes you higher. Right now, the last thing on your mind. This is a few nights under the lights and 40 years on the grind. Bet you a dream and not prepared. What's the point when nobody cares? Daddy fought and mama ran, but you ain't the only one without a plan. There's no blueprint for small town fame. No one ever told you all the same. Hold on dear, throw it out. But even the best trip has no route. The thunder rolls, the song is crying, and no one stops your heart from lying. Right now, the last thing on your mind. This is a few nights under the lights and 40 years on the grind. Now the knees has gone away. Off with believers who couldn't stay. Somehow you've gotten good at this. It's the rest of life that will give you faith. Begin again and now forever. You made the choice to do it better right now. And the last thing on your mind. This is a few nights under the lights and 40 years on the grind. 40 years on the grind.
If you guys are thirsty for more, which I'm sure you are, head over to City Winery, 1200 Randolph. They'll be playing there around 11 o'clock tonight. You can see some more Mihali with Grahame Lesh. So you guys are done, or one more, or we're good to go? I mean, I understand if you want to rest up for your show.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so they're going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for listening. If you've been tuned in, this is WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM. Thank you both so much.
Thank you
for stopping here.
Such a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. So that was, again, Mihali from Twiddle, Grahame Lesh from Terrapin Family Band, Midnight North. Check out their bands as well as their solo stuff, and go see them at City Winery tonight.
Thanks, Miss Wizard.
You're welcome.
You.